I wonder why the white people would do that to kids.
I wonder if the government will do residential school again.
I wonder why the government passed a law about residential school.
I had no mom. My mom gave birth to me and died. I went to the wrong place, the wrong hand, when I turned 6. They put me in a residential school.
Maybe people will start to talk about this. And maybe all of those residential school survivors will feel the energy and healing. And it could only help our country. There are people that touch our lives in our school every day who have this history in Canada. And we don't acknowledge their survival, what happened to them. In fact, we don't talk about it. We don't have the conversation. Wouldn't it be amazing if all of our residential school survivors knew that we cared about their journey, that we cared enough to learn about what really happened?
I need to acknowledge the fact that talking about Indian residential schools is very difficult. My mother went to one of these schools, and she didn't talk about her experiences to my brother and myself until I was in university. And it's difficult for people who survived that system to talk about it. And it is a great honor to have you here, Verna, to share your experience.
I was in a residential school for 10 years, from 6 to 16. Like you said, we had numbers. When I first stepped into the residential school at 6 years old, when I first walked in there, I was greeted by a white staff. We all had white staffs. They checked me. They took away my clothes. They took away my shoes. They chopped my hair. They took it off and made it just like that, like that, like that. And that's how I was in 10 years. That residential school in Alert Bay is still standing. When I go to Alert Bay, I look at it and stare at it. I picture myself in that school. Every floor, I looked at myself in there. The only thing I knew in life was in that school. I had no family to come and give me hugs and say, I love you. I only went to grade 7. When I got out at 16, I didn't want to do nothing anymore. I didn't care because nobody loved me. Nobody cared for me. From 6 to 16, nobody cared for me.
Imagine not being raised by parents. And then you go home and you can't talk to anybody that's your family because you can't speak the language. And then you go to get a job in the non-Aboriginal community and they won't hire you because you're Indian. So where do you fit? You don't fit in your culture anymore and you don't fit in the non-Aboriginal world. Where do you go? So then you become a parent, and generation after generation of families and children were lost because they didn't have their language or culture or grandmas or grandpas and families and the love that family creates to guide and support them. Well, I thought, wow, what if we made beautiful blankets for our survivors and then we shared some of our learning at a big celebration assembly where we celebrate our learning about this. We blanket our survivors and elders, and then that we would make our own blankets, one for every classroom, to wrap around a child who needs it whenever they need a hug.
First Nation, on behalf of our special guests here who are all my relatives, we'd like to say Vela Kasla, welcome. Thank you all for inviting us here into your school. It's a great honor for all of us to be here.
We would like to begin by honoring the journeys of our residential school survivors in our school and community. Each one of our survivors who have been invited here today will be blanketed by school or family members.
Thank you, Verna. And this blanket was made for you by one of our staff members, Denise Robson.
Denise, just give us a hand up so Verna can see you.
And we actually helped make Verna's, one of her dreams come true by being able to come and share her story with children.
I am so honored today, because I was never honored when I was a little girl. I thought about you children. I thought about how wonderful you were. The questions you asked me, you are so precious. When I was a little girl, I was never a precious little girl. But I'm here today. You kids, all of you touched my heart. All of you, the questions you asked me, you all respected who I am. Thank you so much for this wonderful blanket that you made. I am so honored. Thank you.
So you see, I think of it as an amazing new beginning, where we open our hearts to a new understanding. You guys are the next generation. You're going to walk forward with the values and ideals that will change our world and make it a better place. And if you know all the information in your history, you'll know to make better decisions, won't you? And I tell you this because I believe in the future of our Canada, and I love Canada. And I believe that you are the future.
I thank God that I am here today to tell you my story, because it's so important, because nobody listened to me. They didn't care to listen to me. But I can do it today. I can put my voice out there because I had no voice. Now I got a voice. We are... No, it's a big one. That's the Naiad. Oh, Qila Kasla, Qila Kasla. Qila Kasla.
Yep, what would you like me to do here?
Pick us up. Pick us up. Get us a bus. I'm an old lady. I'm an elder.
Dispersing here once again, ladies and gentlemen, please make your way up to the big house and we reconvene, conclude our sacred ceremonies.
Hopefully we can begin together as Canadians, begin to visualize a future together that's different than anything we've ever had. That every child born has the same opportunity and they can reach their potential, and that's really the goal.
I thank you, God, for sharing these tears, for crying my heart out, to heal my body, to heal my soul, to give me strength. Because you're not going to be hurting me anymore, because you're going to be down now. You're not going to be hurting no more children. I'm a healthy elder. I can say goodbye now. I'm going to walk away now, because my heart is full. My heart is strong. I'm not weak anymore. I can look at you now. Now you can fly, my spiritual friends. Now you can go. Leila Kasla, Leila Kasla. Thank you, Ed.